cooking my version. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell to be notified of future video. Welcome again, guys, to yet another video. And on today's menu, we have rice and peas with curry mutton. As you can see, our peas is already on, our coconut chopped, or you can also grate it if you would like. All right, so let's put that aside. So let's get on to our mutton. So I washed and the skin removed from our mutton. Here's our seasoning, our all-purpose, our chicken seasoning. Next is pimento, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and our garlic powder. All right, so now we're gonna season our mutton, guys. Now this is important because you wanna have all that powder seasoning soaking into the mutton from as early as possible. Pay no attention to the amount of seasoning you always see. The camera is really close to the plate, so it looks like a lot, but it's not. And in my household, there's a lot of persons. Yeah, so it's a lot of meat. So don't get alarmed, guys, based on the amount of seasoning you see. It's a lot of meat. So we have 1 packet of curry seasoning going in. All right, so we gonna get all of that marinating with that mutton as soon as possible. So guys, as before, our peas has been washed already. Our coconut blended. You can grate it if you want. Whatever your preference is, you can go ahead and do that. So now look at our seasoning being mixed with the mutton already. So now we're gonna cover that and allow it to marinate, so that when we start cooking and that seasoning start cooking in to those mutton, it'll be delicious. So we got a curry being burnt in some oil. This is a method of ours we always use to burn our curry, as well as pour a little bit onto the meat somewhat, not all the time, but sometime. And we have our garlic going in, so we want to flavor that oil with our garlic and curry seasoning. So now we add our mutton to the pot. So now, guys, you're probably seeing, oh, Mr. Narrator, isn't that the pressure cooker? Is it back working? No. So we're gonna slow cook it, and we started out as early as possible in order to finish early, so that nobody's starving and our meat is cooking through tenderly. All right, so we're going to add some water to this and then cover it up and let it cook, or slow cook, for a period of time. All right, so there you go. Stir all of that with this. Well, you in this type of pot, you don't want to be using like metallic utensils. You want to use either plastic or wooden. So now back to our peas. We add our milk, coconut milk, when our peas is tender, not soft, but tender. All right, so you don't want to add it too early and have your milk boiling nonstop. So you just want to test it. You just take a piece out with a fork or a spoon, either squeeze it, stab it, whatever you want to do to test it, to see how tender it is, but not too soft. You want it like just a little bit hard. Then you add your milk, and then you leave it to boil until it's a little bit more tender again. Then you add your seasoning, as you can see, which is your thyme, your escallion, and a green pepper to go with that. So again, guys, it's a lot of rice that's being cooked, so do not be alarmed by the amount of salt you see. This is a week in, week out thing, so it's properly gauged. So do not say, oh my goodness, yes, send other people in pressure. And remember, I'm not me a cook. All right, send a little bit of sugar for a little bit of sweetness, and then we have our rice going in. So when our rice is going in now, that tells you our peas has been cooked thoroughly, pretty soft to be chewed. Lord knows I do not eat peas. Anyways, so you stir the peas from the bottom to the top, or right throughout the rice, and then this part is also optional. You can leave your seasonings in or you can take them out. All right, it's up to you what you want to do. All right, so now there's some garlic going into our mutton, and because it's being slow cooked, we have to test it periodically. You know, stab it with a fork to see how tender it is. And if your water it's there's not much water in the pot and it's not cooked, you can add water as you go along, because your mutton should absorb most of the seasoning already. So do not worry about whether or not the water is gonna make your mutton gravy long or whatnot. Don't focus on that. You want to get your mutton to be tender. All right, if you have a pressure cooker, believe me, it will be much quicker, but because this one don't work much, it's not. And there's our rice, looking beautiful already, not finished yet, but looking splendid. All right, so back to our mutton. As you can see previously, we add all our chopped seasoning. You have your pieces of carrots, your Irish potato, your scallion, your thyme, your pepper, you know, all the love and goodness. All right, the onion. So these are periodic checks being made to see how tender the meat is. And you want to add all your chopped seasoning when your meat is close to finished cooking. You don't want to add it too early and then the light just gone out of the pot. If you're a person with a mind, go ahead, because many persons tend to do that. But if you're a person that mind, you want to wait until it's close to tender or finished cooking, then you add your seasonings. All right, so now over to our coleslaw. So we have some sugar, some vinegar. You can't see the vinegar properly because that is really transparent, and some mayo to go with our cabbage or chopped bell pepper and some carrot. So you don't want to add too much sugar to make this too sweet, but just enough so that it has a little bit of sweetness. Yes, you can get the sweetness from the carrot, but in some cases you can add your sugar. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but in this case we do because we like a little bit of sweetness in our coleslaw. Right, and you add your vinegar to it. So now we're gonna add the mayo. You can decide how much mayo to put on it. Some people love when their coleslaw is creamy, and some don't. So in this case, as you can tell, we don't love it that creamy, right? But just enough to have a bit of creaminess to it. All right. So now back to checking our rice. Look how beautiful that looks. All right. Goodness, I do not like them peas. That's my preference though, guys. I love rice and peas, but I do not like the peas. Weird, right? All right, so to test that it's cooked all the way through, you'd like to use a fork. Preferably a long fork. If you don't have a long fork, you can use a regular fork to test it, to see if it's cooked through. Here, you're saying ketchup. Right, yeah, this is optional. We like to put ketchup in it for that little bit of sweetness, just in case it's overly spicy or too much seasoning. That can cut down some of it and just provide that little bit of sweetness and thickness to your gravy and provide you with a splendid taste. Believe me, guys, it's really good. All right, so if you want to try the ketchup, you can. If you don't like ketchup in it, you don't have to. You can think of it as squeezing a tomato in it. Some person would use tomato rather than the ketchup. It's optional. All right, so that's up to you. Guys, I just want to take the time out once more to thank you for the support, the subscribes, the likes, and the comments. Without you guys, why would we be producing these videos? It would be a waste of our time. So thank you again, and we appreciate it. And look at our plating of this meal. Comment below, let us know what you think, whether this looks beautiful or not. But it tastes great. And I'm going to grade it a 9 out of 10 because I'm not a big curry fan and I'm not a big peas fan. So, hey, that's my preference. But tastes great. Guys, and give some love to All in All TV. Again, we'll see you in the next video. Remember, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And we're out.